back here on ESPN Plus. Thank you so much for Dr. Lloyd Bauer for joining us, and we go right from one great conversation to another. President Martin Schmidt joins us here on the broadcast. Dr. Schmidt, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
It's great to be here. It's great to be here. Thrilled. We're up 3-0 after the first period. Looking really good.
Before we get into some of the things with the institution and your time here, we just had a great ceremony on the ice here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Numerous alumni from various generations of the program. It has to be fantastic to have the opportunity to bring so many different generations and so many teammates together.
Yeah, well, obviously hockey is such a phenomenal tradition at RPI. When I've been on the road talking to alumni, I like to point out, I say to them, 108,000 living alumni. Nearly every one of them remembers trudging up the hill to Houston Fieldhouse for a game. And when I say that on the road, heads nod. So it's a great tradition at this institution, and just wonderful to see the alumni come back, and it's all good.
Speaking of great tradition, I mean, you are no stranger to it yourself, being able to come back to this institution as president. What has it meant to you to serve in that office so far?
I get emotional when I talk about it because it's not something that I, aspired to, not something that I could have imagined. But the call came from the search committee chair and asked me if I'd be willing to consider it. I wasn't really convinced, but honestly, as I started looking into it, the opportunity to return to your undergraduate alma mater there's no words to express how emotionally meaningful it is to me personally. But also, and frankly, the opportunities for this institution moving forward, I think, are so profound and exciting that I couldn't think of a better job.
Now, before we get into those opportunities, I mean, this is one of the great annual traditions here for the RPI Athletics program. Do you have any fond memories of Big Red Freakouts of your own?
Well, funny you should ask. So
that's a little different than a snow cap.
I'm learning a little bit about the history, but I didn't realize at the time that the first freakout was my freshman year.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, it was January, February 1978. It was also when we had a big blizzard.
That sounds about right.
And, so we went to every freakout. Big memories about that. The third freakout was when they handed out these bad boys. Now, this is my original cowbell from my junior year. There was a sticker on it that said that it was, you could see the shadow of the sticker, said it was a freakout. So I was a little remiss that I didn't have it, but we were in the alumni house today.
Right.
And they've got the cowbell with the original sticker, so guaranteed authentic, still works. So, a lot of great memories,
Well, let's talk about what's coming up for this institution. Now, first of all, having fans back in the stands after COVID-19, such a fantastic thing to have happen here in 2023. But your expectations for RPI and your position and the relationship that athletics has with that.
Yeah, well, first of all, let's say I think athletics, I got a question. We were on the road this week. Lynn and I went down to Phoenix, and we were in Houston and Austin. And someone asked me, well, the question was a little bit of a concern about whether or not athletics are a distraction from the academic mission of the Institute. And what I like to tell people is the average GPA for the varsity sports team at RPI is higher than the average GPA of the student body as a whole. And last year, the highest GPA average for one sport team, men's ice hockey.
Wow.
So what we know is that the athletes, they have to be focused, they have to be efficient with their time, and those sorts of skills not only help them on the ice or whatever playing field they're on, but
Absolutely.
It also helps them in the classroom, and frankly, it helps them in their future endeavors. So, I think we answered that question adequately. So athletics, really important.
Absolutely. Last thing before we let you go, because I'm sure you're a fairly busy man, we just got the chance to catch up with Lloyd Bauer just a few moments ago here on the broadcast here on ESPN Plus. The gift that created the endowed men's hockey coach position, just the importance of having an alumni of his stature create a position like that, and really just the importance of gifts as a whole to boost up this athletic program.
Yeah, well, and what's wonderful about it is Lloyd is just an amazing person. I've had a lot of chances. We were with him in Florida a couple of weeks ago. My wife Lynn and I had dinner, wonderful dinner, very humble guy, and we just spent time with him today. I was thrilled to find out that this afternoon he went to Famous Lunch for some hot dogs. which I did a couple of months ago.
That's a good tradition. If you're going to live up to one tradition, that's one.
His only complaint was they're not open till 1 like they used to be. But he's just a terrific salt of the earth guy, and to think that he could reach the heights he did professionally, and then to give back. I'm just going to treasure the fact that I know Lloyd Bauer every time I see our hockey coach with Lloyd Bauer on the name of his position.
Dr. Schmidt, it has been an absolute pleasure to get to catch up with you. Thank you so much for the time, and best of luck with the rest of the year and everything that you have planned for this great institution.
Thanks. Go Red.
We'll take a break here on ESPN Plus. Again, the score after one period of play, 3-0 RPI over Yale. Dan Fridgen will rejoin me, and we'll have highlights from an exciting first period of action. We'll step aside and be back with more after this. You're watching Engineers Hockey on ESPN Plus.